What happens when the once mighty rulers become reluctant hosts? When the very nations that once carved up the globe, ruled by sword and sail, now find themselves flooded by migrants from the same lands they once exploited? London, Paris, Amsterdam. These cities once mapped the world. Now they struggle to manage their own neighborhoods. Is this just immigration, or is it karma? Historical, poetic, and maybe impossible to reverse. Let's take a look at how the sins of the West are coming home, not as invaders, but as consequences. From the 1500s to the 20th century, the Western world, Britain, France, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Holland, which is present-day Netherlands, didn't just explore the globe, they carved it up. India, looted of textiles, crushed by famine under British rule. Algeria, occupied by France for 130 years, stripped of language and identity. Congo, turned into a human slaughterhouse by Belgium for rubber. Indonesia, colonized by the Dutch, forced into plantation slavery. Latin America, reshaped, rebranded, and exploited by Spain and Portugal. The Philippines, first colonized by Spain and then handed over to the US. China, fractured by opium wars, treaty ports, and foreign-controlled enclaves. They extracted wealth and implanted instability. They taught the world their systems and then walked away. Now, those very systems are walking back. Today, the West is seeing something it never expected. The colonized returning to the colonizer. South Asians in the UK, North Africans in France, Turks and Syrians in Germany, Congolese and Rwandans in Belgium, Indonesians in the Netherlands, Latin Americans and Filipinos in the US. In cities from London to Paris, Rotterdam to Munich, the majority is fast becoming the minority. This isn't integration, it's inversion. Then the empire had come to the east. Now the east is coming to the empire. And with it have come the echoes of what was once inflicted. Loss of cultural cohesion, parallel legal systems, language fragmentation, and a paralyzing fear of speaking the truth, for fear of being labeled racist. The West is becoming a mirror of its imperial past. Only now, the discomfort is theirs to bear. It appears that karma isn't just cultural, it's economic as well. Today, Western powers, especially the UK and European Union, are deindustrializing at record pace under the banner of green policies. Steel plants closed, car factories outsourced, energy sectors neutered. Why? Because of something called green accounting. Western nations only count domestic emissions. So if they shut down factories and import goods from India or China, where pollution is higher, they still get to say, look at us, we're saving the planet. This is not environmentalism, but just outsourced pollution with a clean conscience. And who benefits? The very nations they once colonized. India, China, Indonesia, Vietnam, Mexico, all booming industrially. They manufacture the goods, they take the jobs, they flip the old script. Back then, the West looted the East. Now, the East is being paid to build what the West can no longer make. As Western economies hollowed out, they imported instability. Grooming gangs in Britain, riots in French suburbs, honor killings and acid attacks in Germany and Sweden, cartel violence spilling into US cities, no-go zones in Brussels, Malmö, and Marseille. And what's the response? Silence, censorship, sensitivity. Police afraid to act, politicians afraid to speak. Because the guilt runs deep, and the fear of being labeled colonial or racist runs even deeper. Empires once ruled with iron fists. Now, they govern with rubber gloves and hashtags. The public is furious but afraid. The elite are aware but paralyzed. Mahatma Gandhi once called it mental slavery, the belief among colonized people that they needed the West to rule them. The question is, has that idea flipped now? The West, especially its elite class, no longer believes in itself, apologizing for its history, tearing down its statues, denying its culture, its identity, even its language, obsessed with quotas, guilt, and self-erasure. And while many immigrants integrate and thrive, others weaponize the West's self-hatred to demand separate schools, laws, and even values. It's not colonization by force, it's colonization by invitation. The West once ruled the world, by ship, by sword, by steel. Now, it's ruled by the consequences of that rule. Call it karma, call it justice, or call it history finally catching up. But one thing is clear. The past didn't die. It migrated back, draped in diversity, cloaked in ideology, and armed with everything that the West had once imposed on others. The question isn't whether the empire fell. The question is, will the West wake up before it fades out?